Hey guys, this is an interesting little motion filed by Richard Allen's defence. Of course, we're talking here about the Delphi case. So let's read this together. Richard Allen by counsel pursuant to Idaho Code 35-37-2-5 asks the court to order that the empanelled jury be transported to the Freedom Bridge, the Mourning High Bridge, and to the site where the bodies of the victims, Abby and Libby, were located, as well as the site of the old CPS building where the prosecution claims Richard Allen's vehicle was parked between 1:30 p.m. and 4 p.m. on February 13th, 2017, the afternoon the girls were murdered. At least that's the state's argument, that the girls were murdered between 2:32 and 3:30. And they also claim that Richard Allen arrived at the old CPS building shortly before 1:30, and he was seen on the Mourning High Bridge around 2 p.m. by Betsy Blair, who said he was a young man with poofy hair. And then the girls met Bridge Guy, who the state claimed is Richard Allen, at 2:13, where he said, "Guys, down the hill." And then, shortly thereafter, they were abducted, taken from the south side of the bridge over to the north side of the bridge by wading through the creek, and then they were murdered on the banks of the creek. Okay, we know this, don't we, if we've been following the case. The view would be requested as it would greatly aid the jury's understanding of the evidence presented at trial, including observing and feeling the unique topography of the land, something that cannot be understood from photographs and video. Okay, so before we talk specifically about what the defence would like the jury to do, let's go to the map here. Now, as you can see, I've got this set as if we were in 2017. This is April 2017. The reason why we've gone back in time here is because in 2017, the old CPS building, which is here, this is County Road North, this is the old CPS building. It's since been knocked down, so the jury won't actually be able to see where the old CPS building was, but they'll be able to go to the site. All right, so I've got my pin here, it's the old CPS building, and a little parking area. Okay, so they are claiming that Richard Allen drove by here. This is the Hoosier Harvey store. Drove by here at 1:26, I think. So a minute or so later, he'd arrive here. Then he'd get out of his vehicle, and then he'd walk down here to the Freedom Bridge, which is this one. Then he would walk down the trail here, all the way down. Meanwhile, whilst he's doing his walk, Abby and Libby were dropped off here across from Mia's farm, which is here. This is the trailhead where they walk down, and it's just a few minutes walk to the bridge. So Richard Allen's walking along here, sees three girls, they see him. Meanwhile, Abby and Libby are walking along here, dropped off here about 1:48 maybe, because Kelsey German, Libby's sister, her car was caught leaving on the Hoosier Harvester camera at 1:49. All right, so by the time the girls have been dropped off and are walking down here, Betsy Blair walks along, sees the poofy-haired man, Richard Allen, young, about 20 years of age, on platform 1 of Mourning High Bridge while she's walking down around 2 p.m. All right, so she's walking back up and the girls are walking down. Richard Allen hid while the girls walked past, because we know that he wasn't on the bridge when the girls entered the bridge, because there's a photo of the bridge taken by Libby just off the bridge, and then this photo taken of Abby on the bridge. You cannot see Richard Allen or anyone else. You cannot see Bridge Guy, so Bridge Guy had to be hiding somewhere or something or other. Anyway, crossed here all the way over to the south side. They meet BG, somewhere around the south side at 2:13, guys down the hill, and then they walk down. They've got to go down this steep hill down here. This is a private driveway, but you can get off the bridge and walk down here, and then cross the creek. It's probably, I don't know, maybe knee height, And then this is the crime scene. It's a little clearing. This pin is the location, the exact coordinates included in Ron Logan's search warrant as to where the FBI believe the crime scene was. So there. So there we go. And then the girls were left there. So all done and dusted by 3:30. And then Richard Allen, according to the state's version of events, then walked back. So either went up the hill and through the cemetery and this way, not sure, or this way, who knows. People, by this time, people are already looking for Abby and Libby. But anyway, Sarah Carbo driving this way. So she passes the Who's Your Harvey store camera at 3:57, sees a muddy and bloody man walking west along County Road North, presumably going back to the old CPS building. That's all the state's opinion here. Okay, so this is specifically what the defence want the jury to do. To walk the trail from the Freedom Bridge to the Mourning High Bridge. All right, okay. Right, so walk along this trail, and since 2017 it's been nicely upgraded, so it's a nice path. You can walk all the way down to Mourning High Bridge, all the way down here. Okay, cool. Don't need your walking boots, but maybe probably no high heels or anything silly. All right, to then view the opposite end of the bridge where the victims were allegedly abducted. All right, so I guess that for any jurors who are scared of heights, this maybe isn't the trial for you. Now, you can't walk all the way across the bridge nowadays because it was old and rickety and maybe safety concerns and stuff. So you can only walk part way along it. But what I think you would be able to see by standing on the platform of the upgraded bridge would be the crime scene, so you could look over onto the crime scene. I'm not sure you can see it if you weren't on the bridge. To then view the opposite end of the bridge where the victims were allegedly abducted. So you can't walk all the way across, as I said, but you could, with permission from these people here, you could drive to the end of this bridge right here. Obviously private property, but you could just get permission and to view where the girls would have been, because the rickety part of the bridge is still there. It's just you can't walk on it anymore because there's a viewing platform and it's fenced off. So, but you could see down the hill. All right. So the defence is not asking them to wade the creek, to follow in the exact footsteps. Finally, to view the area where the victims were found, and then the location where the prosecution claims Richard Allen parked his cars. So, the old CPS building. These locations are less than 2 miles from the courthouse. Juror transport and viewing could easily be completed in under 90 minutes. Allen and his counsel, Andrew Baldwin, Bad Rosie and Jennifer Auger, request to be present along with the prosecution and observe the viewing under whatever direction and guidelines the court may offer under Indiana Code Section 35-37-2-5. If, because of any security concerns, the court does not wish to allow Allen to be transported to view the scene, he waives any such right and asks that the court order this jury view occur without him. All right. To actually view the scene, you could do it from the bridge or, again, private land, but you could walk. There is a path exactly to the crime scene. There is a path along here. What do you think she's going to do? Jury views are common in trials. I think it's a good idea. There's a risk. Jurors might become too emotional and take that out on Richard Allen just to hold someone accountable. But you don't see from photos and stuff just how steep this hill is here. But you know what I would like? I would like maybe someone to demonstrate. I think that Slick Nick should demonstrate exactly what Richard Allen did, under the state's view. So I think we should send Nick to the bridge where Bridge Guy would have been seen at 2:13 And then the jury can be waiting at the end here. So we send him out. Then he's got to walk back. He's got to say, guys, down the hill. Then he's got to go down the hill. Then he's got to cross the creek. Then he's got to go to the crime scene. Let's see how good he is with that. We could get Judge Gull to do it as well. Just to see how easy it will be to take 2 abducted girls and control them whilst he's getting them there. What do you think? Comment below.